Dear brother, men are thermostats, not thermometers. Listen, let's get into it. You know what thermostats do? They set the standard. You know what thermometers do? They reflect it. Think about what I'm saying. Men are thermostats, not thermometers, man. What are you going to be today? And then sometimes you question, what have you been? Again, thermostats set the standard. Thermometers react and reflect what the thermostat says. See, a thermometer changes based on its surroundings. That's what happens, bro. It changes based on the surroundings. A thermostat controls the environment it's in. That's what we are supposed to do as men. That's what we are. It's not about bossing things around. It's not about being the boss, being a champ. It's about protection. It's about deciding how things are going to go, the family, the relationship, right? It's about guidance, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I tell you all the time, guys, it's not about being the boss. It's about knowing which way to go, right? What's the point of being the big bad boss and you're on the direction? Be the kind of man that knows direction, right? All the tribes of Israel, right? They had weapons, and some of them had great armor, and you could read it. They all had all kinds of stuff. And they said there was one tribe that was very small. The tribe was called Issachar. And they said the one thing Issachar knew how to do, even though they were small and they didn't have all the skills that the other tribes had, Issachar had one thing. They knew the time and the season, how to move. They were what we want to be, right? A man must decide. A real man, you must decide whether you're leading or whether you're reacting to life's pressures. Are you leading or reacting, man? And I'm sure you could look over your life and there was times you were leading. There were other times you were reacting. There were times you were confident. There was other times you were waiting to see what happens, what went on. Those are the times you assess your life and say, you know, I don't want to be the kind of man who is reacting to things. I want to be the kind of man who sets the tone for how things are going to go, right? It's all about emotional stability for men. Right? You don't want to be you don't want to be an unstable man emotionally, right? Women are emotional. It's not a bad thing. Stop telling women that it's bad to be emotional. That's how they're made. That's why we got to be as men emotionally stable, right? Because we determine how leadership goes. We determine the direction. See, a thermostat man is steady. He's steady. He doesn't let his emotions dictate his actions. That's what you want to be. See, it's all about self-discipline. Self-discipline is controlling what's going on. But most of all, man, controlling yourself. See, you always find yourself in trouble when you're trying to control everything around you, but not controlling yourself. When you control you, everything around you follows and aligns with where you are as a man. So don't forget your discipline as a man. Don't forget that that's how people follow you. Don't forget that that's how your family, your business, right? Don't forget that personal success, everything aligns with the discipline. I'm going to question you again. As a thermostat, are you a steady man or are you responding all the time? See, reaction and intentions are two different things. You hear what I'm saying? The difference between weak and strong men is about men who react versus men who are intentional. I'm telling you, things come our way every day that will make us reactional. In our marriages, in our relationships, with our children, on the job. It's always something looking to make you react. But you know who always loses? Men who always reacting. I was that man. I'm sure some of y'all saying, yeah, you was too. See, we don't lie on this channel. The Dear Brother podcast is where grown men keep growing, right? We've all been like that, reactional. But you know how many men are in the grave right now, in prison right now, right? Because they decided to react instead of being intentional about how they were going to respond. See, most men today live in a reaction mode. It's just reaction. We let social media make us react, right? We let the algorithm make us react. Our emotions, we let it make us react, right? External pressures in our life, we let it make us react. You know, in fact, today, man, there was something trying to make me react, and I had to hold up, had to get control of me. See, don't fight to get control of the thing that's making you react. Get control of you. I want y'all to really get that, bro. Stop trying to control the thing. Get control of you. That way you're not reacting to it. It doesn't bother you. You know when you know you're growing as a man? When stuff that used to drive you crazy, it don't bother you like that no more because you're in control of you. That's when you know you're growing as a man. Not by how much money you have or where you live or what's in the bank. You can have all that stuff, but not have control of you. That makes you less than a man. See, a thermostat man moves with intention, right? He shapes the reality around him. He's not shaped by the reality around him. That's where you got to be as a man. Listen, if you don't set the temperature, somebody's going to. Catch that, bro. If you're not setting the temperature for how things are going to go in your life, somebody else will. Somebody else will. A toxic relationship, bad friendship, somebody getting on your nerves, right? Somebody driving too fast behind you. Somebody cut you off. There's all kinds of stuff that'll put us in a situation where we're not setting the temperature. And if you don't do it, somebody else will, man. There's always somebody who's going to try to set the temperature for where you're going as a man. So you got to decide that's not how it's going to be. Again, not by bossing up. No, boss up on yourself. You hear what I'm saying? Boss up on yourself. We see the world reacts to a man who's in control of himself. You can tell. When you walk into a room, you can tell who's in control of that room. When people come around you, they can tell whether you're in control of yourself or not. And they treat you different when they know you're in control of yourself. Your relationship be different when somebody knows you're in control of yourself. I'm telling you, practice it. Some of y'all in wild relationships, your woman going crazy, doing and saying whatever she want. It's only one or two things. Either you're always reacting to her and she knows she can get you off, right? She knows she can throw your whole thing off. Or you don't need to be in that relationship with somebody who's always having you on a topsy-turvy. When you can never find stability, man, she's probably the wrong one. So whether it's relationship, man, whether it's career, whether it's leadership, whether it's business, whatever you're trying to do, it's about taking control of you. See, with passive men, you allow the outside forces to define your values, which way you're going to go, how you going to move. No, don't be a passive man. No, that's not what a man is. A man doesn't just be passive. No. And when I say don't be passive, that doesn't mean that you respond to everything. Passive means that you're not saying, okay, what should be going on right now, and I'm controlling myself to be what should be going right now and giving the leadership to how things should be going right now. The most important thing, man, is becoming a thermostat man. You hear me? A thermostat man. That requires discipline from you, though. That requires you not to be going off all the time. Listen, I'm talking to myself, man. Sometimes my fuse is this short. That's why I never come on here lying to y'all, man. I give y'all principles, but I tell y'all stories about me because I don't never want you to think I'm on here looking down on you, bro. I'm talking to my brothers eye to eye. I'm telling you, this is where grown men grow, man. We don't make excuses. We check ourselves. That's the kind of man we want to be. Set clear standards, man. Set the clear standards for yourself. Set what's not negotiable in your life. Whether that be a relationship with your children, whatever it is, set what's not negotiable in your life. This right here is not negotiable. I know who I am. I'm not going to be thrown off by every wind that hit my life. This is my standard. This is what I'm not negotiating. Because that's what you should do. That protects you. It's not about bossing up against somebody else. What protects you is your standards, your non-negotiables. It's important, man. If you're going to have non-negotiables, it's important to build habits. Habits, man, reinforce those non-negotiables. This is my habit. This is how I treat myself. This is how I talk to myself. This is how I operate. This is how I talk. This is how I have conversations with people. Set your habits. Build your habits, man. It's the only thing that will keep your non-negotiables where they are. So you're not flimsy and floppy with everything going on, man. Self-control is the biggest thing. Self-control, man. You control you. Don't let nothing else control you. And don't say, oh, they did this, so I had to do that. You didn't have to do anything, man. You have to take control of yourself so you're not reacting to everything. And if you always got people, friendships, relationships, things around you that's always got you reacting, sometimes you don't need to be in those environments. So you got to know yourself enough to know as well, I don't need to be here. This ain't for me. I can't control myself in this environment. Because sometimes that's a big trick too. We tell people control yourself. Well, guess what? Some environments that don't allow you to control yourself, you got to get out of them. And you know what's important too, man? Surround yourself with men who hold themselves to a high standard. It builds you up. It makes you feel unapologetic for having your standard. Always understand this, man. Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron, man. So get around brothers, man. Subscribe to the podcast. We got almost 1,500 subscribers. Good brothers in here, right? Who looking to do the same thing you're doing right now. So subscribe, man. Hit that like button. Hit that share button so we can gather other men who looking for the same advice. You hear what I'm saying? Don't just be, bro. Don't just let things be. Be who you want to be in this life. You hear what I'm saying? Be who you want to be. Be you. But be the best you can be. Men are thermostats, bro. Not thermometers. Set the tone. Don't just reflect what's going on. You set the tone. Hey, man, I love you. I'm proud of you. Sometimes we up, sometimes we down. That don't make you less than a man. You're not the last mistake you made. You're who God said you could be, bro. You hear what I'm saying? So live this life with no fear, no shame, and no compromise, man. I love you. Make sure you do, because that's more important. Stand tall. Be brilliant today. You hear what I'm saying? And like we end every podcast, say it with me, bro. And this might be your first time, but don't make it your last time. Yesterday is history, and tomorrow's a mystery. All we got is right now. What we going to do with it? What we going to do about it? Hey, man, subscribe. Become part of the Dear Brother podcast community. We doing great things here. What are we doing? We're making ourselves great, changing our surroundings because of us. Stand tall, buddy. See you soon. Peace.